We're live. We're a couple minutes
Oh,
late.
sorry, did I say?
We are a couple minutes late. We apologize for being a couple
You
minutes
don't have
late.
to do my hair, dudes. Come on, like seriously.
Oh, she
It
had
was
to do her hair.
raining
She had to
today.
cook dinner. She had to deal with the dog. She had to do her hair.
Y'all know I got a new puppy, right? Okay, I didn't. He did because like it's they're a matching couple. They look so cute together, and her name is Coco, and she's a mixed breed, but she looks like what the hell does she look like? A dog.
She looks like a chocolate lab.
She looks like a chocolate lab. But the best thing about is that she's a she, and y'all know what that means, right? I'm not the only bitch in the house no
Yeah.
more.
That one doesn't go to my swear jar, though.
No, because it's a dog.
Right. See what she does to me? See what stuff she gets away with?
I'm so damn cute. Can't
Right.
say.
Well,
Can't
we have
say. But
we have an action-filled show
yes,
tonight
we
because
do.
I'm really excited about this book. Now look at, you see it? All right, these are just some of the tabs that, mind you, there's a ton of dog ears in here as well. All right, so whenever I do that with the book, you know I like it. So I'm going to play the bio video and she'll be with us as soon as it ends. This week in the Fox Den, we have Connie Huebner. She is a leading spiritual luminary of these times. She is the founder of Divine Mother Guidance and Healing and Divine Mother Church. She communicates with Divine Mother and brings profound divine messages of healing and knowledge for many people. Unique among spiritual teachers, Connie not only receives divine messages, but teaches others to receive them as well. She can teach anyone to receive their own answers to life's questions from Jesus, Mother Mary, the Ascended Master, and Babaji, or any divine being. Connie has written a book, Divine Mother Healing, which contains a series of healing tools that people can use to heal themselves and their loved ones. They are effective even if the words are just read out loud or repeated silently. Using these tools automatically connects you to the healing power of the Divine Mother. Connie is here to tell us about the journey that has brought her to the Divine Mother and how the wisdom passed along to her is resonating across the globe. And we welcome you to the Fox Den, Connie. Hi, welcome to the Fox Den, Connie.
Thank you. Thank
Did you
you
like
so
the
much.
video?
That's beautiful. I
Oh,
love
good.
that video. I need a copy of that.
Oh, sure. Well, I sent it to Felicia, so she has it, but I'll send it to you too.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem. I love doing those. Like I was saying though at the beginning, usually, I always read the books before the shows, and whenever anybody sees all these, things in the dog ears, it's like, yeah, I liked the book. So what I really, really, really liked about this book is you have a lot of things in here useful to what I do out there. Okay, like in paranormal things, like paranormal investigating with aura work and that sending curses back, cutting and all this, the ties and the binds and the this and the that, and everything that was in there. Although you're using it for a little bit of a different reason, it works perfectly for me.
It still works.
It really works for anyone.
For anyone and everything.
Yeah.
And it was like it just was so perfect. So I'm like, because I had my own methods before, especially like for cutting ties, cutting cords and things. I did it a certain way. I did because I've been having these issues. I think people sending negative things my way for numerous reasons. Nothing that I really, really did, but they are. And it's like I used this method in here out loud several times, and I felt great last night. I felt great today. And I was like, so this is my method.
Fantastic.
Yep, it is my method from now on. So, okay. So I know you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but we'll get into this a little bit more and more and more. But this is the book, Divine Mother Healing. You can see it down in the corner. It is available on Amazon. I will show you a little bigger picture of it right now, too. So it's right there. Her web is divinemotheronline.com. Now, let's start right from the beginning. And who is Divine Mother?
Perfect question to start with.
Right.
So Divine Mother is that unity of the Mother God, Father God presence. However, the mother aspect of that unity is coming forth. It's always been coming forth. It is the life force in the universe, in the whole creation. But right now, it's particularly coming forth because our human family needs it so desperately. We've become separated. We've become, fighting with each other. We've not only become separated from God, but we've become separated from each other. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of pain. People have forgotten who they are. They've forgotten that they are a divine spark, that they are made in the image of God. And so the Divine Mother is coming forth now to bring her family together, to bring our human family back together, and to remind us of who we are. Most of us have forgotten. And so she wants to remind us and empower us in who we are, instead of in who we aren't, in the fear and the shame and all of the pain we've gathered over a lifetime. So this is why she's here. And she wants an intimate relationship, a very personal relationship with each one of us. It's beautiful.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. And because each of us are different, and she talks about how even though we're all one with her, we're each unique and have our own particular relationship with her that's different from every other person's relationship.
Yeah.
So it's very, very powerful and beautiful to step into that relationship. And so I teach people how to do that. I give them tools to disconnect, like you've used the tie cut from the old false ideas, from those who might want to use us or abuse us or in some way control us. And it works. And you're centered in yourself. You're back to who you are.
Yeah.
So it's
good
beautiful.
vibes. Hello from Nadine. Yeah, awesome vibes. Oh, just wait.
It's gonna get better.
Yeah. I mean, she's gonna bring it. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. All right. So, how did you, though? I mean, I read the book. I know your past. Your past was not unlike my past. You had a normal,
Right.
crazy childhood, college years, right? So,
Yes.
so describe that a little bit. How you were, and then how did you come to find Divine Mother?
Well, okay. So I grew up, I was not particularly spiritual as a youth. I was just, in fact, church didn't interest me. I mean, I went because it was an obligation. My family went, so I was supposed to go too. And, but when I became about 18, I decided, okay, enough of this. And if God exists, show yourself to me. I actually had a conversation with God and said, okay, I'm not going to your church anymore. I'm not going to do any more prayers. I'm just going to live my life. And if you are really there, show me. Somehow prove yourself to me. So then I went around, my life and just led my life. I mean, I can't say I did anything horrible. I was, my parents had good ethics and principles and so on that I was raised with. So I didn't, but I did party a lot. I had a wonderful time in college.
No,
Right?
The party scene. And and of course, I did enjoy my studies. I was a political science major, and the political scene was very active at that time, and there late 60s, early 70s, and I got very involved in that. But this, at the same time, there was always something more that I wanted. I didn't know what it was that I wanted, but I knew I wanted more. So,
Mama, you see this?
I could skip the whole beginning and go right to the Divine Mother, or I could tell you that at one point, I learned meditation. I had an experience where actually God did prove him or herself to me. And at this point, I would call it proved itself to me. It was a mother, father, God experience. And I was simply lying in a field looking up at the sky one day, and I had been an astrology buff. I loved not astrology, astronomy. I like where to find out where the constellations were and so on.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I was looking up at the sky. It was a blue day, so that you couldn't see the stars, but I knew they were up there. I actually knew where they were, even though I couldn't see them. So I tried to see them. I tried to kind of project myself out there because I knew that, whatever, Orion was there and the Big Dipper and so on. And I kind of actually lost my personal self. I had this amazing experience, and maybe many of you have had it, of being one with everything. And I was, I don't know how long it lasted. I just know it shifted me.
Is it like an out of body, or just?
It was a conscious. The best thing I can say, it was a consciousness experience. I was unaware of my body, so it could have been. I was everything. I was not only my body, and I included the body, but I was aware of. I became everything: the trees, the grass, the body was just a minor little period in the vastness of everything that I became. And when I sort of came back and became aware of my body and that I was in my body, I was also aware that there was more around me, that there was energy around me.
Jay's saying astral projection.
I don't really know what astral projection is.
Or out of body,
so you can define it for me.
Yeah, it could be, somewhere in there,
Yeah.
The way it sounds to me is your body melted into its surroundings.
Yeah, your vibration just went with everything.
Yes, it was. I call it a oneness experience.
Yeah.
And so
Transcendental Meditation. That's what you studied, and that's what that was.
Yes, and I hadn't studied it yet when I had the experience. So the experience set me on a search for what this was, and was there anybody else in the world who was experiencing it? And people would tell me to go to read this book, or go talk to this person, and a lot of philosophers had that experience or talked about the experience, and I was looking for somebody who was living it, because I could not get rid of the experience. I couldn't forget it, and I couldn't walk away from it. It became like indelible ink. It was just a part of me. And finally, I stopped telling people about it, because they would say, "Well, you're on a drug," or or you're you need to see a psychiatrist. That was the other thing. You need to go see a psychiatrist.
All those things. So what are you pushing? All those things.
Right. So so anyway, I stopped telling people I was having the experience, and instead I said, I would say, I have this theory, and I have this theory that we're truly all one with each other and one with everything. And people could, I was still in college at the time, and academia could handle that in the early 70s. And they would say, "Oh yeah, that's very interesting. Let's talk about it more." But what I was really looking for is somebody who was experiencing it. And I had this, I created this test. I called it my oneness test.
Mhm.
And the oneness test was if I could look into someone's eyes and they could hold my gaze. There's even a technique nowadays called gazing, which people use, but back then I'd never heard of that. And could hold my gaze for an extended time, that we would meet in this oneness. We would meet in our unity. And then I would know, oh yeah,
We easily do that with
person's
animals.
experiencing animals.
Yeah, we easily do that with animals.
Oh, you know, I
People don't even think
should
about
have
it.
tried it with animals. I didn't
Yeah.
even think of that. But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, dogs are amazing.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so I went searching, and I mean, do you want me to tell you about my whole path? It was,
Yes.
I would, yes, because I would
years.
love to hear about your studies and who
Okay.
you studied with.
Well, so
particularly.
I had heard about this man, Baba Ram Das. You may have heard of him. He's the
Yes.
former Richard Alpert. He did the initial studies on LSD at Harvard, and of course they got kicked out of Harvard and all of that. And I was in the New England area, the Boston area, and he had gone
My
off.
hometown.
Oh,
Yep.
oh, that's great. I love Boston. He was looking, he had found a guru in India, and he wasn't using the drugs anymore. And so I was very interested in meeting him. And I happened to be in New Hampshire one weekend, and I heard that his family had a home there. And I called up the family home and asked if I could come over. And I felt I was being a little brash and bold to do that. But
No mistakes in this world.
he answered the phone and said, "Oh yeah, come on over." They were just finishing a kind of a retreat that day. Oh, it would have been a weekend retreat, and I was hooking into the tail end of it. So anyway, I got my friends to drive me over. They were kind of reticent. They didn't know what they were doing. But I convinced them, no, I've got to meet this man. And
Nice.
so I got out of the car. None of them would come with me. But I was compelled to meet someone else who was having this experience. And so, I walked across the yard, knocked on the back door, and Baba Ram Das opened the door. And all I wanted to do was stare into his eyes, to give him that oneness test.
Nice.
Right.
And so I looked in his eyes, and he held my gaze for, a long time. I mean, maybe a minute. And then a minute is a long time to hold someone's gaze. And he embraced me, and I could hear his breath. I don't know whether he was practicing some yogic kind of breath or what, but it was a deep, resonant breath. And
like a calmness.
And then, oh yeah, very calm, and a kind of, there's this breath in yoga called Ujjayi breath, which makes a little noise in the throat. And when I learned about that, I thought, I wonder if that's what he was practicing. But
I know.
It may have just been his normal breath for all I know. Anyway, so we embraced in this beautiful oneness. And then he said, somehow he communicated to me, I'm going back to India tomorrow to see my master. And I was like, oh, well, at least I got to meet him this once.
Right.
Because I would have loved to have talked more to him, to spend more time, to get clarity on my experience, really. And but anyway, it was just about a 10-minute meeting, but it was enough to give me confidence that, okay, there are other people.
Alone, you're not crazy.
You're not alone.
Exactly. So so anyway, and I've followed him just in terms of just reading about him, and he of course isn't any longer in the body, but he has a tremendous following, and he's offered a lot to this world in terms of knowledge and experience. So anyway, I still, of course I still didn't have him, and somebody finally said to me, and I am talking about my oneness experience, they're saying, you should learn to meditate. That's what meditation is all about. It's settling down. And often in a group, she was saying, I experience oneness with everyone. So immediately I thought, okay, that's the next thing I'm going to try. And I went off to learn meditation, and it happened to be Transcendental Meditation. And I learned it. And what you have to remember is I was looking for someone having the experience. And I looked around and at all the people who had taught me, and I thought, I don't think they're having the experience, because they weren't holding my gaze. I was giving them the Oneness Test.
Right.
So I went through the classes, and at the last class, someone talked about the development of consciousness and how we can have this oneness consciousness. They called it cosmic consciousness. When you do know that you're in the basis of all life, you're living in it, you're experiencing it. And I'm like, that's what I want to know about. And I asked, who do you know who's experiencing that? And the teacher said, well, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi is definitely experiencing it. So then I had to wait a year, because I was to make arrangements to go on a course with him, to earn the money to go to the course. And I was focused on all of that. But I finally did get to a course that he taught. And it was wonderful. I mean, he was giving knowledge about what I was experiencing. So it verified everything. They call it the Vedic knowledge. It's the knowledge of life from the tradition from which he comes. And anyway, I wanted to give him the Oneness Test. So I had
little intimidated.
Yeah. So I waited for an opportunity, and I had gotten, I think it was called an advanced technique for meditation, and he was checking the techniques. So I got to walk up on the stage. Everyone was in a line. Everyone who got the techniques had turned to sit with him. But my ulterior motive was not just to have the technique checked. It was to give him the Oneness Test. Look into his eyes. And
with her ulterior motive.
And so I went up there on the stage, and I had this silly little moment where I was wearing a mini dress. Those were
the days.
Those were the days of the mini dresses, mini skirts, everything. And I was sitting there, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should pull this dress down over my knees and be a little more modest. But as I pulled it down, then the neck would come down, and I thought, I've got to pull the neck up, and then the knees would come up. This is the problem with mini dresses. Anyway, so I was pulling it down and pulling it up, and nothing worked. And finally, I just gave it up, and I turned and looked at him in the eyes, and really I just fell into a well of infinity, honestly. And I was aware that he was definitely holding and living this oneness much deeper, much greater than I was. And I thought, okay, this is someone I can learn from. And so I signed on with Maharishi. I actually became a teacher of TM and spent many years teaching it, and giving other people the experience of transcending, which is going into that depth. And I learned so much from the knowledge that was offered about this Vedic tradition, and how there are levels of consciousness, and that this cosmic consciousness that I had heard of was just one level. And as it grows and develops, the heart starts to grow, and you start to want to meet God. You want to meet the Creator. And
do you still teach? Do you still teach transcendental meditation?
I'm not I am a teacher, actually, but I'm not teaching it anymore. No, I'm teaching the Divine Mother work now.
Okay.
So although I encourage people to meditate, because meditation is really the basis of this divine knowledge that is sprouting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so guess what I was going to say is, as a result of my own heart growing through the practice and of the meditation, I started wanting to meet God. And this was, I did teach meditation for 15, 20 years full time, actually, and was very involved in it. And I have many good friends who are still teaching meditation, and I stay connected with the TM organization. But I started wanting to meet God, and TM at that time was presenting itself as to the scientific community, because you could do physiological studies on the body and find changes that occurred in meditation. And so I was giving talks about the scientific research and so on, but what I was yearning to do was give talks about God. My heart was just expanding outward. I wanted to meet the Creator. And so I went on my own private quest. The one phrase that Maharishi used many times was, and it's a phrase, it's a quote from Jesus, is "the kingdom of heaven lies within you." And so I thought, okay, my idea of the kingdom of heaven was I was definitely experiencing the transcendent and that source and that oneness and wholeness, but I wasn't experiencing any angels or any pearly gates, and I know many people do have those experiences, but it wasn't mine. And for some reason, I wanted to know about heaven. And so I went on this search for the kingdom of heaven. And the only phrase I had to go by was "the kingdom of heaven is within you." So every day, I had a child by that time, and she would take a nap, and I would say, okay, I didn't want to mix my search for the kingdom of heaven with my meditation, which I was still doing regularly. So I would go into my room and close my eyes and just sit there and kind of look for the kingdom of heaven inside. It was like an inner search. Later I found that it's also a technique to gain realization. It's inner. What's the name of it? Anyway, sitting with yourself is what it was. Okay. And so I would sit there, and honestly, for the first week or month, not much happened. It was like, oh, it's a little boring. I'm just looking at a blank wall. And then I started, getting agitated, say, okay, Jesus, you're the one who said this. Where are you? Where's that kingdom of heaven? Nothing happened. So finally, after maybe 6 weeks of sitting there every day, I was persistent, because I did believe the phrase, "the kingdom of heaven is within you." That's one thing I did. I just
makes perfect.
Yeah, exactly. 6 weeks. That is persistent.
Yeah, it maybe is the first thing I ever took on faith, that the kingdom of heaven is within us.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to quit on looking for it. And so anyway, one day I saw this little sparkle of light in this field of my blank vision. And I started looking at it. It's like, finally, something's happening. And I started watching the light, and the light would rise and fall, and it would sparkle. It would actually burst into a million different points, and then it would become one smooth glow. It showed the light. I got the distinct impression that the light was teaching me about itself, that it had intelligence, and that it was saying, look, I can do this. I can be a wave. I can be a big glowing wall. Anyway, from that, and I noticed how by watching the light, I felt fantastic. I felt wonderful. I felt good, just better than I normally felt. So I started using the light. I created what I called then a prayer called the Divine Light Prayer. And every time I went to sit for my research, I would start saying, Divine Light is filling me now. More light is filling me. More and more divine light is filling me. And the light would come. As I said, the light is filling me, it started to fill me.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make, there's a kind of a long story because that was the first vibrational tool that I discovered, this divine light.
Right.
And the light is, yeah. And it's in my book as the very first tool.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone, what I would learn so much, you can tell light what to do. You can say, light is filling me now. You can say, light is pouring into me.
Right.
Or you can pour it into
We're all manipulating energy because light is a form of energy, right? We are all energy.
Exactly.
It's like the chi and like the prana, like you actually described in there, how we manipulate, move, ingest, regurgitate energy.
Right.
It's
And
all
that's when I started learning about energy and which has become energy healing that I've learned a whole lot about. It was just that experience of divine light. But getting back to how I met Divine Mother, we have to skip ahead a while because I started learning all these other energy things like divine love, which is a different energy than light. And I would use that, or divine truth. Divine grace is an amazing energy. And these were all qualities of the divine that I was using as tools to not only change my life, but then I started working on my husband. At first, he didn't know it, but I experimented on him.
We all kind of do that a little bit.
Right. Had to.
Been there, done
that. Try it. Anyway, so I had this whole bank of energy tools that I was using, and I actually started teaching them and sharing them with other people who would say to me, "Oh, you got to tell more people about this. You should do this for more people." And I was like, "No, this is my personal relationship with the divine. I don't want to make it public. It's very private to me." And I resisted going public with it. Until one day, as I was sitting there, I experienced this humongous wave of light come up. I mean, like a tidal wave of golden light. And I just watched it. It was coming right out of that infinite source, that quantum field, if you want to call it that. It rose up, it was huge, and then it would divide into 2 waves. And then those 2 waves would divide into 4 waves. And then those 4 started dividing and at the same time interacting with each other. And there was something majestic being created. And I didn't know really what it was, except that I was awed by it. And then little waves, like vibrations of light, would start to like, you know how when a wave comes up, there are little droplets of water that come off the wave. These little droplets of water were waves, little droplets of light, and they would do things. So at one point, it was so amazing to me. I said, spontaneously, the question came up for me: "Who are you?" And immediately I heard, "I am the Divine Mother. I am creating the universe."
Wow.
And she was, and I was like, I couldn't talk. I was like, wow. And I continued to watch. And she continued to show me this process of creation. And what came to me was eventually these waves of light, these energies, flows, would become particles of light. And then these particles would become atoms. And then atoms started to create matter. And it was like, I mean, it was not even like, I felt I was perceiving how all these levels of the universe create, and then we get to this solid, physical thing, physical building blocks of matter. And anyway, at that time, and at one time, the Divine Mother, I used the word birthing. It's like she was saying, she's the mother, and she's birthing the creation.
Right.
And at that point, I decided, okay, I want to learn from her. I want.
Yeah.
She knows a lot more than I do, and I want to learn everything. And that's when I started training myself how to communicate with her, how to talk to her. And it was a process of trial and error. And I got messed up sometimes, and I got way off and, communicating with, with energies that you don't want to communicate with, negative energies and things. So I had to learn not to come back and even shield myself so that I can stay in touch with this highest divine vibration. And so anyway, I started getting messages from her. I started to learn how to translate a vibrational language into words. And it took a while, but I actually teach people how to do it now. And it doesn't take as long because I went through all of the trial and error. And I actually have 4 very simple steps that people can follow. And anyway, it's beautiful. I'm actually about to teach. I'm starting a class in a couple of weeks about teaching people how to communicate with Divine Mother. But she's just an open door. Once you meet her, the company of heaven is available. It's almost like I found
her web.
Oh yeah, that's my website. Yeah.
Yep.
So I feel like I found that God. I found finally God revealed herself to me.
Right.
No, and people think I joke when I do that, and I guess in some respects I do. And when they say something about God, and I said, well, God's a woman, so what do you expect? Like
Right.
it's they're like saying, oh, well, it's
Yeah.
amazing with the God's a woman. What do you expect? But yeah, I do agree there that there is 2 halves to God, and there's no right or wrong. But for me,
Yeah, you got
well,
feminine and masculine
yeah,
energy.
exactly.
Well, and the divine feminine is it's all so obvious. It's in the creative expression, like Mother Earth, Mother Nature.
Yeah.
And the mother, I mean, I'm not belittling the father aspect at all, but I do really believe that right now the mother is desperately needed by the human
Yes,
family.
agreed.
Absolutely. Like when I do a cleansing of a house, and I do every single room, and then I do the house, and I do the property. But in every single room, I start in the center of the room, and I talk to Father. It's Father Sky. That's Father.
Yes.
And then I do the spirits of the East,
Beautiful.
West,
Yeah.
North, South, and then I touch the ground, and that's what seals the room is Mother Earth, and then I bind and seal, and only good energies can stay left in that room, and that's how. And I kneel down and I just like pay her homage.
Wow.
And then that room is sealed, and then I go out, and I waft, like 4 wafts of sage in each direction of each god or whatever you want to call it. Okay, but me they are like gods, and that's how I do it. But it's like a lot of these things. Again, what I'm going to say now is like when you just said it, that you needed to protect yourself from negative things. All right. So like you have a thing in here about your aura, and our auras can get holes in them. And I know I've always said that too. You fill yourself up with light, and you make this bubble around you and everything. But I never addressed the holes in the aura. And the way that you do that is fabulous because it's doors. You put doors there and you're closing the doors and you're saying out loud, I close this door, I close that door. And you're actually giving everything a name, you know, and you say it too, because it will work if you're saying it silently
Right.
or out loud.
Yeah.
So
And that's because energy will do what we say. It'll do what we tell it to do. And that's one of the things I learned when I was working with light is divine light is pouring into me. And whoa, it does pour in. And
right.
so
And then
when
if
you
there are
say,
holes in your aura,
if
it's
there are
going to pour
holes
out.
in your aura, you say, and these doors, I close all doors, holes, portals, pathways to limit it. And I close them to the limited planes in creation where you see, the reason I use the word limited is because we are unlimited. We are infinite, truly, in our full nature. And so, as we evolve and grow in our consciousness, in our life, we become more unlimited. We become freer.
We're divine beings living in a physical form.
Exactly. So anyway, that's why I close the holes to the limited planes, domains, and dimension that could interfere with our path and somehow disrupt us, and then it would retard our progress. So and another important thing, you probably know this, but for the audience, I want them to know that by closing the holes, you're not cutting yourself off.
No. No, it's a protection. It's
a protection from anything that might be harmful or disturbing or just want to fool around with you and not support you in some way.
Right.
And that includes negative thought forms because the environment is full of thought forms. So other people's anger, other people's pain, other people's fears. When the aura is closed, they'll bounce off
that negative,
aura. Yeah, like empaths do when they walk out their door and everything, you know, just affects them.
Right.
But we always say that ground and shield and everything.
Right.
You know? But I like this with the doors, you know.
Yeah, close all the doors, opening holes. And when I'm doing it, especially even with myself, but I'll use my hands. I'll say close. Like I'm closing an imaginary door in front of me. Close. And I go close all around. Close.
Yeah. You've got some great videos too, like on your site. You can go watch her do this. So she's got a whole list of videos there that are fabulous, really.
Yeah.
And they're short, you know.
The DivineMotherOnline.net. I do have a YouTube channel, but if you just go to the website and scroll down towards the bottom of the homepage, you'll see the closing holes is there, the divine light is there. You know, the one you mentioned, cutting ties. There.
Cutting cords, and stopping curses and everything else, reversing curses, things like that. I mean, these are real things, you know, and people will ask us this too, you know, me and Mama and stuff. We'll be like, the curse is real. Yes, they are, you know. And can you do anything?
It's unfortunate because, you know, it's not like in this day and age, people are sitting around a cauldron and speaking mumbo jumbo and saying.
That's called cooking in the kitchen. Spaghetti sauce.
But when people say a strong, like public figures will do this. They'll have a strong negative statement like, you are scourged, you are, and then they'll call some name. I mean, what you say is created. And if you create something negative like that, it goes to that person. And it can be harmful to them.
Yeah, and some people's intentions are really strong, and that their energy can really get out there.
Right.
So definitely. But if you're protected from it, and
the healing of the curses that I have in the book dismantles the whole thing. So it's not, the divine is much more powerful than those curses. much
Yep.
more. So we can dismantle
I have it bookmarked. Canceling spells and curses. So I have that one bookmarked. I guess so many dog ears and so many things too.
Yeah.
And cutting binding ties. And you have it like several different repeated in here because you have a long version, a short version.
Right. Yeah.
Really driving it home. By the time you're done reading the book, you really know what's going on. But now you know exactly where you need to go for a day-to-day. If you only have a quick,
Well,
time.
this is kind of like a workbook, really. And
Right.
and there's a section for people who want to spend longer time. And if there's a serious issue, a heavy issue, an illness or something that's been there a long time, or a disturbing relationship,
Right.
I would say spend longer time. Go through the whole session, the whole sequence. Then that's the long sequence. Then there's a short sequence where it takes maybe 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how fast you
I think there are times that we need the shorter version, and then there are times that we need the
Yeah.
longer version because it needs to be more
True.
intense. That it's not like, like if you had a really rough day, you need something that's a little bit more intense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it's like, not so bad, then you can have the quickie.
True. You're right. And so I've got actually 4 different. I've got a mini sequence, and then I've got healing on the mini sequence takes maybe 5 or 10 minutes. But then there's healing on the run at the back. I don't know if you found that yet, but at the very back.
Yeah.
Whereas if this happens to me, unfortunately, I shouldn't admit this, but if I accidentally cut someone off in traffic and then they yell at me, or they give me some gesture of anger and upset, then I'll say, go into the light, and break, and I pour light into you, or something like that.
I like to break, and saying that too. I'll break because you're breaking these ties. You're breaking this, and you're not allowing it. So, and it's a good word, and you're saying it over and over again. And it was so funny because I'm reading this, and you have go into the light, go, right? And I'm just going, okay, I love this because of the fact I was cooking Easter dinner in my kitchen, and I gave my big pan to Bob to put out on the porch to get it out of my way in the kitchen. And it's like he brings it out and then he's going to bring it back. I'm like, no, go out, right? Like that. I'm like, go. And my daughter says to me, no one likes them when you say go to them like that, right? So this is what's in my head when I'm reading that in the book, and I'm like, yes, they do. Yes, we need we need to do this. I was going to take pictures of it and send it to her and say, look, it's in the book.
See, it's in a book.
Yeah. Well, the go command particularly is a blessing. I hope I mentioned that when I was explaining. It's really, you're sending them into the light. It's not just go. You say go into the light. And it's designed to, you can certainly use it.
But it was funny. But it just was.
It is very funny.
It made me laugh, And then, but I understood completely and utterly what you were doing with it, and it just. But it's something now. Again, there's no mistake in life. It is a reason why I will never forget that. Among many other reasons why I will never forget that, because I'm going to be using these techniques all the time now. And
so long as she doesn't tell me to go, we're fine.
But if she says into the light, that's
okay.
Blessing.
That's okay.
That's not just go. And I also want to say the reason I have the goes so many times is because actually every go into the light will send a dark energy or a negativity into the light. But we are multidimensional. So I say it at one level, go, and then the next level, go, and then a deeper level, go, and then go until, and eventually, if you're tuned in to the energy, eventually the goes they'll become soft, the voice will become softer, and it'll just stop. You won't need to say it anymore. So
I just can't. You guys got to get this. If you.
Well, mine's on the way somewhere.
Yep. It will.
Good. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's over there right now.
And you mentioned the break command. I call them the go commands and the break commands. And
Mhm.
we we have we have a lot of energy around us, and particularly around our head, the upper body. But I'm sure a lower body too. But people are very heady, and everything you say creates. I mean, say or think creates a vibration. And if there's, say, a codependent behavior between a couple where they get into the same argument or the same old story again and again, it's because that's a pattern between them that is replaying the tapes, and it can be broken. So anyone who's in that notices that can start. You don't have to say it in front of your partner. You can, because they may not know what you're doing, and sometimes, like my husband used to get, "Why are you saying that?" And anyway, now he gets it, but it took a while. So we'll say go. You can just start saying inside, break, 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 to break those vibrational structures that have created a pattern in your field. It's all in your auric field. It's unseen by the naked eye, but it's there.
Oh, it's so there.
And another thing that people grow up with a lot of times of feeling unworthy or undeserving because of the way they were treated by their families or by their teachers. And if you hear many times you're no good or you're a bad person or whatever, you hear it again and again, you start to believe it. And then you start thinking that I'm stupid, I can't do this, I don't get this. And those create these patterns. Even I've even perceived them as grids.
This is what we learned about last week.
Yeah, exactly. Notice again how our shows are combined into each other.
They all go together, because she said we'll say that about ourselves. I am, right? Even if I am hungry, I am tired, I am angry, I am this, I am that. You're not. You are experiencing these. These are emotions, and you're experiencing them. Doesn't define you.
Yeah.
You know? Right. We do get into that pattern, and we do it to ourselves. We do it to our children. We do it to our neighbors. We do it to our friends. And it's an emotional thing, but it's intent.
I know, and they get stuck. We get stuck in those patterns, and we don't realize that we're acting because they're energy patterns that we're operating from. So, in terms of the energy healing, you can say to those patterns, break, break, shatter, burst, all kinds of, language that means, sometimes I'll say, get out the wrecking ball and smash these just the energy patterns around you. And one thing that's
what I was doing yesterday, and I'm telling you, it works. It works. Just from yesterday to today, you have no idea.
Wow.
How much better I feel, how stronger I feel, how more centered, and the taking back section 2 is amazing. Taking back things that you've lost over the,
Oh yeah. Right.
So
you mean breathing it back, breathing yourself back. This is one of the tools in there. Is breathing parts and pieces of yourself back into your heart, back into your whole. So over the years,
I call back parts of myself that have been left behind in former jobs, challenges, people, activities, projects, relationships. I call these back into the wholeness of my heart. Right? I love this. I just love this. And it goes on and on and on, But I love this because we do lose that. And because so many times people saying, you can't, and you do lose all those things. Right. So now you break that, and then you bring it back, and then you call it back, and then you make yourself whole again, the way you used to be, Yeah, it's great. It's just great. Love it.
That's beautiful. Wow. You're really getting it.
I get it. I mean, it's not everybody can get it. You can get it. You can get the book. You can read it. You can get it. You can understand it. You it's not hard to get the way that you wrote it, you know? And as you're reading it, you're actually putting it into motion because you said you can think it or say it out loud. So every time it was time to say something out loud, I read it out loud. You know,
Yeah.
like, is it going to hurt me? No. Is it going to help me? Yes. Did it help me? Hell yes. Excuse my language, one for you, Joe.
Beautiful. Go into the light.
Oh, no, don't. No, I need those swear jars because I'm building a castle because of her swear jars. Remember, I'm Canadian, so American money is worth a little more. So when she swears, I fill up my swear jar and I build a castle. I've now got 3 castles.
Good for you. So you're building something good out of her language.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, I am a
it
princess
happens.
in the castle of cusses.
It happens. Yeah, I get very passionate sometimes.
Yeah.
But but I'm trying to, I'm making a point because it's stuff that, we can use. Like I find it very useful for me working in the paranormal field as well, as well as day-to-day
Right.
life, just let alone myself, and then God, everybody has someone, no matter how great you are, someone's going to not like you. Someone's going to be sending negative stuff your way, and you have to protect yourself from that,
Yeah.
and then sometimes it does get in. And then when it does get in, you have to cut those ties and those cords and those things that bind you. And it's in here simply, you don't have to think about it. You can just go to the page and you can read it. And it's like, all right. And then, Archangel Michael and your flaming blue sword, just cut all these,
Ties, yeah.
these ties that are binding
And
you.
cords and, I mean,
all of
all,
it, smash, break, and everything, and it's like poof, and then you're gonna get back to you, and that's the whole thing. So you get you centered and back to you where you're supposed to be in your oneness. You know what I mean? In
right.
the universe.
And that point that you're making is beautiful. And because once all of these blockages, and I call them blockages because they're blocking our true self. So
What is your question, Nadine? Yeah, to even ourselves out. Yes, we do that to ourselves time and time again. Yes, Nadine has a question. Did she write it somewhere else? Well, I'm going to wait for your question, Nadine. But you know what I wanted to put though before we get into anything else, because I wanted to go back to Vernon's thing here. Right? So the
please
charity
do.
teachings,
Go
Mother
back to
Earth
Vernon's.
teaches us, of all the beautiful harmony of every living thing here, in that it sets us on a path to respect all life that surrounds us and gives us knowledge of herbs and stones to balance everything. So, I love this to the fact that there are so many different varieties of the same thing, So you have, and again, you wrote this in here, the deities, right? So you have everything covered. I mean, if I could find that one page where you're like addressing each deity.
Mother Earth, that's the invocation.
Okay.
And
So
we
definitely
call on Mother Earth, White Buffalo Calf Woman, Mother Nature.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't live without them, and acknowledging them is such a deep and rich experience.
Okay, so Nadine's question was, if you're trying to clear negative energy or entities with the go command, what would you hold? What if you hold the energy of fear because you are scared? Well, okay.
Okay.
And does this negate the go command and positive vibration?
Oh, no.
All right, and one more thing she wrote, I call upon Archangel Michael for assistance. Okay. All right. You first.
Shall I say something?
Yes.
And then I'd love to hear what you all think too. So fear is a huge block. It contracts you. When someone's afraid, they contract. When somebody's happy, they expand. When someone's feeling love, they expand. So fear contracts us. And so we become smaller. We have less access to the inner knowledge that we carry. So by using the go command, telling the fear to go into the light, many times people can feel the blocks of fear in themselves. It's stuck in your throat, or it's a heaviness in the heart. And so you simply focus on that and say, go into the light. And then again, go into the light to the deeper layers. I want to emphasize this layering thing, because something like fear usually has a lot of layers. Go into the light. And then there's another phrase that I actually have people use. It's, I give myself permission to let go. Because we sometimes hold the fear. Often we even identify with it. So we give ourselves permission to let go. And then it goes. It can't go if we're holding on to it, if we feel that we have to be afraid for some reason. And the truth is, you don't have to be afraid. Someone may have convinced you of that, but the truth is that you are a divine being living in a physical form. And when you fully connect with who you are, that person is not afraid. That person knows how to move themselves through life, even in the face of huge challenges, which honestly, we all have huge challenges these days. Mm-hmm. And if we can move ourselves through these challenges without fear, because fear, since it contracts, it actually contracts your ability to connect with the knowledge and solutions that we carry within us. And I emphasize the heart a lot, because I found that the heart carries a tremendous amount of knowledge and wisdom that a lot of times we don't access, because our hearts are shielded and protected. And the shielding and protecting, again, is often like, doesn't give us access. We go to the heart and it's like, oh, I can't get in there. So as we soften and relax that shielding, as we open, as we call upon our divine friends, truly Divine Mother, and all of the ones I call upon are the great master teachers of the universe, the originators of the major religions of the world. Anyway, as we call on them, we unify with them. And they are fearless. It's because we unify in the place where we are one with them. And they and we connect to their fearlessness, which becomes our fearlessness. And then and then we can dissolve and melt away the fear and the pain that fear causes. Fear actually causes a lot of pain. And pain is another experience that contracts and makes you small, makes you tight and hide. Shame does the same thing. Yep. We contract.
Guilt.
We withdraw. And when we withdraw and get tense like that, we lose connection with this huge self, this source self. I don't want to say that we lose connection. I don't mean to say it that way, because we're always connected, but we narrow
further apart.
Yeah. What was that?
Fear is a great wall.
You're a little further apart. It's like you want to stay close. You want to stay as close as you can to you with that power. Power. We have power because we are living. Okay. Those things that she's talking about, when you want to clear a space and whatnot, that entity or that spirit or that negative force, it's not living. Right? We're living, first of all. Right? We have the power, first of all. Always know that. Once you have that little tidbit of knowledge rolling around in your brain, there's your power. You may be a little scared. You may be startled going in. It's okay, but you're doing this.
if you already have the intention of going in there and you are putting yourself forth saying, all right, well, I am going to tell you to go. All right, you're already building your confidence when you're taking the steps to get through the door. You've already made up your mind to do this. So what is that? You're stepping into your power as you're stepping into that room. All right. So there you go. You build on that. Every step you take in, the more powerful you get, the more you can call on these deities to come with you. I love that you're calling Archangel Michael. That's fantastic, because defend us in battle. Right. Say the Saint Michael prayer over and over before you go. Draw off of that strength. You know, we can do this. We can manipulate energy. We can protect ourselves here and now, in whoever you are, in any shape that you're in, because we have the power.
Yes. Yeah. You know, there's some beautiful statements by Jesus that I often have people say. And one of them is, I am the way, the truth, and the life. If you say that, it empowers you in that you can call it it's the divine energy. It's the Christ energy.
Mm-hmm.
I am the way, the truth, and the life. And it dissolves the fear. It sets you into that divine you. I could even call it the Christ self of you. So I encourage you to use that phrase.
Yeah. But Nadine, though, really, if you're going to do any of this kind of work, this right here sets you all up. Everything you need is in here to protect yourself, to, if anything happens to you, to cut the ties, strengthen your organic core, soften your heart, like she was saying. Everything in here is what you need. This is your power. It's all right here. And it's not difficult, not at all.
And, whatever you're doing, I mean, even if you're practicing energy healing already, this is an adjunct to that. Yeah. I would invite you to check it out and add it to whatever modality you're using. I have massage.
She's a Reiki master,
Oh, beautiful. I have massage therapists that will say it, use it in their massage, pour light into their clients as they're massaging them. I work with a therapist who uses it with her clients. She actually
something that can be used in anything and everything. As you cook, you infuse whatever my hands touch, infuses it. Because Reiki, a lot of people go, oh, well, what if it's negative energy? Reiki is not negative to begin with. So if you're working with energy, 99.9% of all energy is positive. There is that negative stuff that's out there. I mean, that's the thought behind it. That's the intention behind it. There's no actual real negative energy. But that's the way I look at life.
It's a corruption. It's a corruption of energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you touch the water I drink. I'm touching the glass. I'm pouring the water. It's infused with Reiki. So for me, energy, you infuse, if you're a worker of energy, you infuse everything with it, whether you realize it or not. Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
But your page, it's page 134. It's the invocation
of the divine beings.
Right. So, right there you right at the beginning, you say, I call upon the presence of the Divine Mother in her many aspects. I call upon Mother Mary, the Christian. I don't know if I'm saying these right. Shekinah?
Well, there's a special way you say the part if you speak Hebrew.
You're Jewish. Divine presence of Fatima, Islam. Right? Mother
Lakshmi. This is the Hindu. Lakshmi, Saraswati, Durga, Kali. They're all Hindu.
Yeah, and they're all So
and
they're
Tara
all
and Kuan Yin. They're Buddhist.
It is not just a Christian book. Okay, she's not a Bible thumping. It's not. That's not what it is.
This goes along with the conversation we were having earlier, G. That I like I say, when I talk to my God, it's her. It's one of the aspects of the gods that I talk to, but it's her, my main higher power is a female. And it's like I say to people, it doesn't matter who or what you call your higher power. There's still, everybody believes in some form of higher power. Just because you use the word God doesn't mean that it's not somebody else. It's not, Allah.
Some other
It's not,
religions, right? Yeah,
exactly. It's just
a
what you
divine
call it. It's like an orange is an orange, but in different languages, it's a different word.
Right.
So
Different
God
picture.
is still somebody's higher power, no matter what you call her or him.
Right. But if you
Okay.
look back in history too, the iconic statues and all the artwork, from all the different countries and areas, when there was no travel between them, the deities look the same. They have different names, but the deities look the same, especially like voodoo. Everyone downs voodoo, but all the voodoo gods are just like the Catholics.
Exactly.
Right? You look that
It's
up.
all a matter of intention of what you're going to do with it, how you use it.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah. Different name, same thing.
And I want to pick up on.
I questioned God at one point, and I said, if you were real, you'd shut my mind off, and damn if you didn't. Bam! But my eyes were wide open, and it was like an iron gate came down, and I saw nothing but black, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
When I came out of it, I was like, at first I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going crazy now. But it was, I asked for it.
It was your wake-up call.
And it was, and it did, and it was. It saved my life.
What you're saying, that ask and you shall receive,
Mm-hmm.
I've grown to learn that's a law of the universe.
Yeah,
it is.
Careful what you ask for.
Just like my thing was, I said, God, prove yourself to me. And then I had that awakening, that oneness experience. Like, whoa.
That you'll never, ever forget. Like it happened yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with me. Like it happened yesterday. It's something that you will never forget. Because it's like a different experience. It's something that changes you, that is meant to stay in the forefront of your brain,
Yeah. And don't get us wrong, for everybody who's listening, that they're not always are they the big boom moments like what Gina and Connie had. I mean, look at me. I didn't have that big boom moment. Or if I did, I don't remember it. For me, it's been a buildup of things slowly but surely. For me to become the person that I am now, to be able to help the people that I do now, it's who I was in the past, how I lived in the past, the things that I went through in the past, all those little steps made me the person that I am today. That was my boom, was the tiny little baby steps. So if you're waiting for that big, smack upside the head, I can give you one if you want one. It's not a problem. But don't just wait for that big crescendo moment. Pay attention to the little things as well.
Well, I say step 1, get the book and read it.
Yeah,
Step 2, go to her website.
Exactly.
And look at some of the things that she has to offer that you can work on one-on-one.
And just following her videos. Come on, guys. She said she's got videos out there for you to watch. That's free. It's a beginning. It's a step. It's a step in the right direction. If you can afford the book, that's cool. But use the little steps that are out there and that are available for us.
Yeah. DivineMotherOnline.net/webcasts. Go there. Check that out. She's got Ascension membership programs, and that's ascensionprogram.com. She's got so many things out there to help you, So
look at that. Free,
really
deep energy healing and empowerment series. Healing DivineMother.net webcast.
DivineMotherOnline.net.
Come on, people.
Yeah, Divine Mother Online. So the Ascension membership program is Ascension.
And Nadine ordered the book. Yes, girl.
Beautiful. You can talk with. She can teach you how to talk with Divine Mother, and you can do that with her. That's at the beginning of this little ticker once it starts again here, so you can have a dialogue with Divine Mother, and and it's right there. Here it comes. Dialogue with Divine Mother. And that's it. Dialogue with DivineMother.com. Right? Check her out. Twitter. All the
social media, Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah. They were all on there.
And this is a thing about it. this beautiful woman and everybody else that's out there that's there to help, type the name into Google and you can probably much get
Yay.
everything that you want. Every connection, every social media aspect that they have is out there.
Mm.
Yep.
Thank
So
you.
with all these tools though, now you call them vibrational energy tools. Like talk more about that. Let's do some like a little bit more like examples of this so people can get an
Okay.
idea, more of an understanding.
Okay. So, well, do you want me to just do a little healing?
Oh, yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay. I mean, I can do a little healing. I can do a long healing. Maybe 10 minutes or so I could do.
Yeah.
Whatever
so-
you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
Okay.
First off, thank you for
we
offering
don't want
that to
to
us and to
overstep,
those
but,
listening. But whatever you feel comfortable with. We got 40 minutes. We're good to go.
Okay. And I can also give you a little, I do this dialogue with Divine Mother. I can connect in with her and give you a message from her.
Oh, that
Yes,
was
please.
nice. Yeah.
And that's and that's something that I do teach. When all the names went by, I'm going to be teaching the dialogue with Divine Mother. There is a fee for that. Many of the things I offer are free, but some of the advanced courses are not. But
yeah,
but I can give you the first few steps, and you can start practicing on your own. It's like working with Divine Mother. She does not want to hold anything back. She loves us so much, and she wants us to have everything we need, everything we want to kind of to get us to realize who we are, that we're truly amazing. We're divine beings in human form, and this human experience is just an experience to help us learn and grow, and recognize again how divine we are, how whole we are. So, okay, let me just do this. I'm going to call upon, I'll call upon the names of the Divine Mother. And the reason I do that is to kind of, it lifts the atmosphere to say those names. So I'll just call on a few names and then we'll do a few, I'll take you into a few of the tools. It's very,
get this tone, right?
Oh,
like I get three
can
little
you hear me?
tones.
Oh, no. This is something that she gets.
The energy.
You're
higher,
hearing her already.
Yeah, and higher and higher.
Okay, beautiful. So I always start like this. I say, we are one in the wholeness of all that is. We are one with each other. We are one with God. And I call upon Almighty Mother, Father, God, and all of the beautiful expressions of divine love from the world's traditions of truth. And then I call upon the expressions of love by saying, I call upon Mother Mary from the Christian faith, Mother Saint Mary Magdalene. I invite the Black Madonna. From the Jewish faith, I call upon Shekinah and the Jewish matriarchs. From the Muslim faith, the Divine Fatima. I invite from the Hindu faith, Mother Lakshmi, Saraswati, Durga, Kali, Parvati. I invite Tara and Kuan Yin from the Buddhist faith, Amaterasu from the Shinto faith, White Buffalo Calf Woman of the Native Americans, Gaia, Mother Earth, Prakriti, Mother Nature, and all the expressions of Divine Mother from the world's traditions of truth. And then I call upon the master teachers around whom the world's spiritual traditions have grown. And Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, Abraham, Moses, the divine presence of Muhammad, Lord Buddha. And from the Hindu faith, they always have a lot of names. Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma. I invite the archangels, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Zadkiel, Uriel, Mentiel, Jophiel, Camiel, Chamuel, Metatron, all of the archangels. I call on the ascended masters. I call upon the gurus. Please invite any great master teacher that you're connected to. There's a sacred sphere of light surrounding us, holding us in a sacred space. Archangel Michael stands guard around this sacred space. Archangel Michael stands to the north of us, the south of us, the east of us, the west of us, above and below us, guarding and protecting us as we sit within this sacred space. The Divine Nectar is filling us. Divine Nectar is one of my energy tools. It's filling us now. We are bathed in Divine Nectar. We are filled with divine light. Divine light is pouring in, inundating, saturating, permeating, penetrating every layer and level of our existence. More light and more light is filling us now, healing us now. Soften in your heart. Soften in your throat. Soften in the brow, the third eye. And now at the crown, top of the head. Soften at the base of your spine. Soften in the pelvic area. Soften in your navel. And then again in your heart. As divine love flows into you, pours into you. More and more divine love, healing you, transforming you. Allow the divine love. And now we're going to close the auras, the holes in the aura. So I asked Archangel Michael and Divine Mother to assist us in closing any doors, openings, holes, portals, pathways to any limited plane, domain, or dimension that could in any way pull us off our true self, pull us off our divine path. So we close these doors. First to the astral plane, close. Closing to the limited extraterrestrials, close, close. Close to the false gods, close. Close to the lost souls, close. Close to the negative thought forms, close. Close to the interdimensional fields, close, close, close. Close to all known and unknown limited beings, close. Close to the collective consciousness of the planet at this time. As we lift human consciousness on this planet, close to this current collective consciousness. Close, close, close. And then again, soften in the heart as we stabilize in the heart. Staying centered in the heart. Allowing more light, more love, more truth. And now I'm going to clear at different levels of the system. I'll start with the emotional level. So any discord at the emotional level will say, go into the light. Go into the light. And if you would inwardly say, I give to the discord, I give you permission to let go. You have free will. So you can hold on to it if you want. but it's freeing to let it go. So continuing to clear at the emotional level, go into the light, go into the light, go into the light. As more light fills the emotional level, heals our hearts, heals the third eye, pouring into the crown of our head more light and more light, flooding our whole body with light. And then I will clear at the mental level, and to all the discordant vibrations at the mental level, we'll say, go into the light and break the structures that hold the untruth. Break. Go, shatter, break. Go into the light. Again, inwardly saying, I give myself permission to let go. More light, more love, more truth, filling us. Soften in the face, relaxing the whole face. Soften in the throat. Soften at the base of your spine. We're settling down, opening deeper into source. And now we're going to clear at the etheric level. Etheric level is that the subtle field around our bodies and around all matter, the etheric level. So any discord there, we say go into the light. And break the structures that don't serve the truth. Break. And go into the light. You are divine beings living in a physical form. You are retrieving your divine self. And breaking all the blocks that you have had to experiencing your divine self, to living in it permanently. More light, more love, more truth. Filling the etheric level, pouring the divine energy into the etheric level. And then we're going to clear at the physical level. So softening the whole body. Softening the cells of the body. Intention is enough to soften in the cells of your body. More light is pouring into the cells. More light and more light. Filling your cells. Healing your body. As more divine energy fills you, transforms you. And then again, soften in the face, relaxing the whole face. Ma, Divine Mother is here. She wants to talk to us. Ma. Soften in your heart. And your third eye. And the crown. More light, filling the physical body. Bathing the physical system in light. Lifting your physical system, lifting its vibration, lifting its beautiful energy. And now we're going to clear at more subtle levels, the astral level. So any discord at the astral level, go into the light. Any blocks, go into the light. Breaking structures that hold these negative energies, break. Soften in your heart and the solar plexus. Burst, shatter, break. Go into the light, breaking, shattering, bursting, healing, transforming, pouring in the light as we have more access to our true self and can move through our lives connected to this true self. We can call it the divine self, but it's who we truly are. The divine human. Again, soften in the heart. As divine love pours into you. Ma. And then I clear a few more subtle levels, the causal level. Wait, we've got to go back to the astral. It's not quite clear enough. Break. Go into the light. And if you would inwardly say, I give my ego mind permission to let go. I give my ego mind permission to heal. And soften again everywhere. Softening expands you. You actually can expand through the boundaries of the physical into your larger self. Is the astral clear now? Yes. And now at the causal level, go into the light to old baggage, old issues from the past. Go into the light. Break. Old pain, old suffering, go into the light, break. And then inwardly saying, I give myself permission to let go. I give myself permission to heal. Divine love continues to fall in, flow in. You're being lifted, healed, cleansed, and freed. In the wholeness of divine love, under grace in perfect ways, allow the divine grace, the freedom of divine grace. Receive the divine grace. Soften everywhere. So now we're going to invite the Divine Mother. So I always say, Divine Mother, come forth. And you could say that within yourself too. Divine Mother, come forth. And then be aware of a subtle shift. The Divine Mother is an energy, a vibration, although she has a form as well, but we're just looking for her energy. So say, Divine Mother, come forth. And notice if there's a shift in the energy, perhaps a deepening, an expansion, or a warmth. Or it could be something else. And if you notice that, then say to that energy, are you Divine Mother? And then again, look what the energy does. Does it expand? Does it get bigger, deepen? In energy language, expansion or deepening is a yes. Contraction would be a no. And if nothing's happening, we consider that a no because we want to get a strong yes. So again, notice. You're asking that energy, are you Divine Mother? And notice what happens. And if you get an expansion, then say, this is an important step. It's a step of discernment. Say to that energy, do you come in the name of the divine truth? And soften. Do you come in the name of the divine truth? And again, you're looking for a shift in the energy. Expansion would be a yes. So you have verified that this is the Divine Mother. She's here. And if it contracted or if there was nothing, you might want to just say, go into the light or let go more. So the Divine Mother is revealing herself through these steps. This is the beginning. The next question is always, what is your message? And this is a little more intuitive, but you'll learn how to receive the message. And it often in the beginning is something very simple like, I love you. I'm here. Or something very personal to you. But notice if it expands you. That's the key to the authenticity. Divine Mother is very expansive. So let us come into activity now, but we'll do it slowly as we move. We've come into this very quiet, silent, deep place, and now we'll just say, thank you, Divine Mother. And as we come back into activity, we'll begin to move a little bit, wiggling your toes and your body. The Divine Nectar is filling you, soothing you. And I actually have people come out in a very sort of specific way because I want to make sure that everyone's integrated back into the physical. Often people get very expanded and settled. So I'm going to suggest you put your fingertips together, thumb and fingers touching each other like that, and place it over the navel like this. It's actually a mudra, which is a hand position that creates a spiritual energy. So put your fingertips like this, and then we'll say some affirmations just to kind of get into the physical life again. We'll say, and you can say it silently or out loud. If you're in a place where you can say it out loud, I urge you to. I am alert is the first affirmation.
I am alert.
I am awake.
I am awake.
I am inwardly and outwardly balanced.
I am inwardly and outwardly
balanced.
I am whole.
I am
I am
whole.
whole.
I am one with all that is.
I am one with all that is.
I am divinely protected by Divine Mother's love.
I
I
am
am
divinely
divinely protected by Divine Mother's love.
My aura and body of light
My aura and
And
body of
body
light
are radiant with divine presence.
are radiant.
divine presence.
And then become aware that you have a vibrant field of light around you. You may not perceive it, but feel it, sense it, know it. A very strong auric field. Light is emanating from your core, empowering this field of light around you as it protects you in your active life. And then we'll say one more, well, there's a little more to it, but we'll say, I am aligned with truth.
I am aligned with truth.
I am whole.
I am whole.
And then next thing I have people do, especially if you're feeling very settled and deep, is to use the EFT tapping sequence to wake up the body by tapping on the meridians, top of the head, eyebrows, sides of the eyes, under your eyes on the cheekbones, under your nose. Again, it just gets the body going again, under the mouth. And it also helps tap in this powerful energy on the collarbones, just below the chin. 4 inches down from the armpits, on the sides of the body. The lower rib cage where the ribs divide. And then the undersides of the wrist. And the side of the hand. I know there are a few more spots, but let's just go back and one more time go through. As you tap this way, you're actually acclimating the body to this new vibration, the divine vibration that we've activated. Side of the eyes, under the nose, under your mouth, collarbone. Again, the sides of the body, lower rib cage, and underside of the wrist, and the side of the hand, under the little finger. And one more time, put your fingertips together, thumb and fingers touching as you place it over your navel, and you'll say, again, I am aligned with truth.
I am aligned with truth.
I am whole.
I am whole.
And then let's take a couple of deep breaths. Breathing in and out, exhaling, grounding on Mother Earth, tapping your feet. I do this coming out because some people get trouble coming back. You get very expanded. So another breath, and then expand, then tap your feet on the floor.
Enough of the expanding.
And now as we go into activity again, I want to make sure that your auras are closed. Again, so close to the astral plane. I usually clap the hands. Close to the limited extraterrestrials, false gods, lost souls, close. Negative thought forms, close. Heavy dense energies and entities, close. Interdimensional fields, close. For 2 years, I've been closing to the COVID virus, close. That's so good when you can close to a vibration. We are close to the any known or unknown limited beings. Close. It could in any way pull us off our path, of our track, our divine track, and then close to the collective consciousness of the planet as we lift Mother Earth. Thank you, Divine Mother, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you very much. And thank you,
Connie.
Connie, for doing that. Oh, man. Honestly, Mom, I want to know what you experienced, but I want to tell you, like, you know how I hear my tones? You know, right? I have 3 tones, 3 distinct tones always. So if something comes in and it's negative, it's a low tone. So I have low, medium, and high tones. So medium tones and high tones, I don't worry about. Low tones, I'll get a little, all right, we'll find out what that is, you know. But this one, when we were in the middle, the tones were different. It was almost like a wave. It was like, it was kind of going, the tone was going up and down and up and down and up and down, but like a pattern. It was really weird. Really weird. Never have I experienced that like ever before, like that.
So what
Okay, you want to hear weird? You know how I get my shivers, right? I get my body shivers.
Yeah.
They were shivering in waves. It would be like from one across the arm to the other side, and then back. And usually I'll just get one side or the other or the whole thing.
Yeah,
This was
I
like
get the solid, you know, like 3 level tones. So wow.
So here's what I'm getting, that Ma, this is true. Those are healing waves. Those are flowing through your body and balancing, and is that right, Mother? Yes. And basically lifting your vibration, but just smoothing out, yes, healing. She says, aligning you with me, aligning your vibration to my vibration, connecting us. I forgot to bring you a message. I do have it. Mother, do you have? She's okay. We'll give you a quick message. She's saying, I am Divine Mother. I come in the name of the truth. I love you. And thank you for inviting me to be on your show.
Anytime. Stay with us. Always.
She's saying, yes, I am, and I'm so happy that you know that. Many people don't know that I am always with them. So thank you. And thank you for the deep and beautiful work you are doing for this planet. The gifts that you are offering to your listeners. I am with you. And I don't, she's saying, I also want to say to all the listeners, I hear you. I want you to hear me. Start listening in your hearts. My whispers are there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for who you are. Trust.
That's a big word.
Trust your divine self. It is emerging. It is coming forth in beautiful and powerful ways to help our planet. Thank you. I know the time is running out.
I told you it flies. It just flies.
It does. But you know what? This was I think the best ending to any of our shows.
Ever.
The connection to the things that it was just freaking awesome. I'm trying not to swear.
I feel great. I really feel great. And I'm still hearing all these tones. It's really great. It is really crazy. But honestly, I've heard these tones for years and years and years, you know. Never have I heard them like that. And it was just like up, down, up, down. You know, it's coming in really strong on the side right now. But it's like up, down, and I just feel so calm.
Wow.
you know? And then the other thing too, when I was reading the book and we were going through those things and softening and all these things, it was like I was feeling, because I was doing it as I was reading it, and I would say out loud and I would feel it. And where you'd say, pause, pause, I would pause. And it's like I would feel exactly what I read next,
Hmm. Wow.
So it was
You
definitely
were fully
amazing.
vibrating in it. You were vibrating in the
Yeah,
words. Yes.
it drew me right in. It drew me right in because I mean, it honestly, people, we need this
Thank
in
you.
everyday thing. It's a thing that you would want to share with people that are definitely having rough times.
Yeah. If I could just say, if I do these healings, like I did a mini one tonight, but for your viewers, I do like every Saturday morning from 10 till 12:30 Central Time. I do a very deep energy healing with knowledge and wisdom from Divine Mother. And
He's going.
and if you can't make it at that time, we always record it. And if you register, we send it to you. So you could even
On
get
the
the
website,
recording.
on the website you can register. The website's amazing, and it is. The little videos that she has on there too can bring you right back in, get you centered, get you grounded, help you with cutting those ties, help you with the divine love and the divine light and the nectar and everything. Everything she's bringing is fantastic. And just to what she's saying, what we were saying, we are whole again, we all want to be whole again. We all lose ourselves no matter what we do. We lose ourselves in our daily life, in our relationships, with our children, with our jobs, all those things with little bits of ourselves are going.
Yeah.
And, we need those back to make ourselves whole. She can help you with all this. Divine Mother can help you with all of this. Or if you don't want to, it can be anyone, any one of them.
Right. If you don't want to call it Divine Mother, call her whatever you want to. The life force of the universe.
Yeah. Right. So again, Divine Mother Healing, you can get that on Amazon. You can get it. Just get it. Just get it. Honestly, God, if you work like with what I work with, this is everything that you need to protect yourself, to get yourself ready.
I also might mention, if for any reason you can't get the book or don't want to, there are 10 free energy tools that you can download. Well, I have a free book on Amazon too. Yeah. But you can also download energy tools. We've got a lot of free stuff on the website. And if you go across the top, it says free. Click there.
What do I always say, Mama? If it's free, it's for me.
It's for me. But that's the thing. That's why I said before, if nothing else, start with free.
Yeah.
And if you find that you want to go further, then you know where to go. But start. It gives you a starting place.
Yeah, you will, if it resonates with you, which you're a human being, will resonate with you. That's what you need. But do you have another book in the works? I mean, is there something else that you're working on?
I do have another book. It's called Divine Mother Wisdom. I've been working on it for about a year, and it's just the tidbits of knowledge that Divine Mother gives. And she talks about, in my Saturday classes, she gives a lot of knowledge, and we have subjects that I think this Saturday it's on miracles.
Nice.
And she'll talk about what a miracle is. And so encourage, I don't know, maybe she'll give us some miracles. Let's hope so.
Nice.
So I facilitate her words and her voice. And so the next book that I will get out eventually is going to be about her wisdom. And she's talked about, she's talked about, health. She's talked about relationships. She's talked about sex. She's talked about awakening, enlightenment. Any subject And I'm just going through all these many transcripts I have of her words over the years, and picking out the real distilled, cream of the crop.
Awesome. Well, when you
Well,
get that done, you're going to have to let us know.
yeah, let us know.
Okay.
Yeah, we would
We'll have
love
you
to
back.
I will.
do
Yeah, thank you. Thank
that.
you.
Anytime you want to get any spare time, you want to come pop in, say hi.
All right. I'd love to. You're wonderful.
That's an open door.
Yeah.
As we always say, once you become part of the once you end up on the show, you end up becoming part of the family. So you kind of sort of can't get rid of us. So if nothing else, if we can help you in any way, promoting something that you have coming up, the shows, the videos, the website, other than what, shoot us a message on Facebook, on whatever, email, and we'll do what we can do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's so generous.
No.
Who we are and what we do.
Guys.
So guys, go on, get Divine Mother Healing.
Get it.
Whenever I get mine,
I have your book. I have your
I know.
book. There's 2 books you sent to me.
Yeah, because by the time Gina sends me that box, it's gonna weigh like 6 bajillion pounds. The border guards are gonna go.
I do. I have a very big box, and it went from a small box to a medium box. So now it's a giant box full of all kinds of stuff that I keep putting in
because
that
I'm up in
pile, and I'm like,
Canada and she's in close to Philly. So
you're in Canada.
yeah, I'm up in Quebec.
Yeah.
So not only
And
does that have to get
where are
from
you
there,
from?
got to get across the border.
I am in Iowa, Fairfield, Iowa, the middle of the country. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
See how this interweb works here?
Yeah.
It gets us connected to people and places that we would never have been able to connect to without
That's right.
this show and without
Yeah,
everybody
I know.
connecting.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It connects us to the world. I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are down to our last minute. I just want to let you guys know that next week, our guest who was supposed to be on, Jesse Colisi, all about the numbers, right? So he is out of the country, actually, and we have to reschedule him. So either we're going to take the week off, or maybe, just maybe, we might do a little card pulling next week for you guys.
Never know.
You never know, right? Well, we might take the week off. I don't know. But until then, we will either put up an ad, let you know what's going to be happening in the den next week. And we thank you all. Thank you, Nadine. You have some great questions as always.
Always tell us.
Always, great things to bring up, and we hope we helped you. And so thank you, Connie, again, and hang with us for a minute. And you guys, we'll see y'all later.
See y'all later.
Bye,
Share.
everyone.
Thank you again for joining us for another episode in the Fox Den. We're here every Thursday evening from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you a variety of guests, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and our Anchor venues. We would love it if you would go to our YouTube channel, The Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, and please subscribe, share, and definitely hit the notification button to never miss a show. We'll see you all next week, and subscribers, watch for our pop-up shows as well.